Hi and welcome back to another tutorial. This is Simone with OwlCat Designs, and this is the second part on how to do these twigs that we're doing for our shawl. In the first part of the tutorial I showed you how we're getting set up for them. We made these long loops, and now I'm going to show you how to not have long loops hanging in the back, but doing something fun with them. You'll need a crochet hook. It's not important exactly what size, as long as it works with your yarn. You're going to start to work these a few stitches before where your loop comes out in the back. So in the pattern you'll see there's 3 different ways to do them. I will show you how we're going to do the fern, because that goes in 2 different directions. When you're doing the split twig, you'd be working up straight and then splitting it, so it kind of has the same start. I'm going to go with my crochet hook through to the back, and I'm going to pull up a little loop, just like a stitch. Now when you're going up straight, you can see these little ladders here in between the stitches. You would use those as anchors and just go straight up. Now since we're doing the fern, you are going to use one side of your loop in the back here, and you're going to crochet over. So put your hook through, pull up a loop, and pull it through. So you're going to one side. And again, and you're just basically either going in the middle of the stitch or in between the stitches. You're just kind of working your way over as much as you want. Depending on how long your loop is in the back, you can go over more or less. One more up here. And now I need to work over here so we can anchor this stitch into our fabric. I'm going to quickly just knit till where the stitch is, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this. Since this is in between the next 2 stitches, there's a couple of ways I can do that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this loop and the next stitch, and I'm going to knit them together. So knit them together. Now it's tucked in. I'm going to do the other side of the fern right now. You're going through here on the very bottom. Oops. Right here is where we want to be. You see how there's the loop in the back, so you're using the other end of it. Bring that through. Try not to get all the other colors involved. And then you're going to go over to the other side with that. Bring it through. And you can work over as far as you have yarn. My loops are a little short because for the tutorial I didn't do as long as what you're doing in the pattern, but so I only got to make 2 stitches here. And that's sort of up to you too, how you exactly want to make that work. You want to do 2 to one side, 3 to the other to keep it asymmetrical, or you want to do it exactly perfectly the same. So here what we're going to do is we're going to work until that stitch is here. Going to put it on your left hand needle. Then you're going to work an SSK. So you're going to slip it, put both stitches back to the left hand needle. Right needle goes into the back of those stitches, and you're going to knit them together. So it's a regular SSK. So what you did is basically you crocheted up to the right and then crocheted up to the left and anchored both of the stitches onto your live stitches, so you don't have any more, your stitch count doesn't change because the loop really was in between those 2 stitches to begin with. And this is what it looks like in the back. And then over here you can see I started this one. This is the straight one. You would basically just do the same thing. You pull up a loop and then you crochet just straight up as you're going, and then on top again you would put this on the needle and knit it together with the stitch to its right, or you can do SSK and anchor it onto the stitch to the left. That's really up to you. One of the things that's important to do with your straight twig is that you're using, and I will show you that quickly here, that you're using opposite ends of this loop. Let me undo it a little bit so I can show you a little better. I have a little longer. Okay, so I have my loop in the front here, right? Now I'm going to go through the fabric to the back and see how you can see now how one part of the loop is on top. This is what you just used to make your stitch, and the other one is further down. We're going to use the one further down for our next stitch. 1. Then you're going to go into the fabric again 1 or 2 ladders up depending on how much slack you have left. And again, see how one is up, one is down. We're going to use the one that's further down to make our stitch. And then one more time, I'm going to go up here and again using the end that comes from the bottom. If you're using the same end, you'll have stitches going up and one long loop on one side, and you might get stuck on things. So I recommend that you're doing it this way. Pull that through, pull it through your stitch, and now you can work over there and anchor that one just like you did with the other ones. And the split twig, which is the third version, basically combines this and that. You would do about 2 straight up and then split it into 2. I hope this helps understand what we're doing here. It's a really fun little technique, and it gives you a flash of color that you wouldn't get without having to, and you don't have to do any stranding in the back. So it saves on yarn as well. I hope you join me again for one of our next tutorials. Again, this is Simone with OwlCat Designs, and thank you so much for watching today.